Hello all, how are you? It's been a long time since I did my last video blog, so I just wanted to share a few things with you. It's 3 years since I started this journey, and I look back at my first blogs I did, which was in May 2012, so I've made the decision, and I was absolutely pooping my pants, excuse the French, but there it is. I look back on how far I've come and the things I've achieved in the 3 years that I've been doing this. If there's one thing I can share with you and you take one thing from this video today, it's be yourself. Don't give a crap what anyone else thinks about you. It doesn't matter who or what you are in this world, there will always be someone who is going to take against you. So I would rather be hated for something that I am than loved for something that I'm not. And that's, to anyone in any walk of life, that's what I would say to you. Be loved for something that you are than hated for something that you're not. It doesn't matter who or what you are, there are going to be people who won't agree with you, won't like what you do, won't like how you look. It's fine. I'm being me, and I've never been happier. If I could go back and speak to Debbie 3 and a bit years ago, what would I say? Because I think it's important in life to... I don't like it when people focus on the past too much, because I think it can be quite destructive. By all means, look at the past and reflect on how far you've come, but ultimately the past has nothing new to say. So if you focus on it too much, I think that you become bitter and twisted. That's just my opinion anyway. So what would I say to Debbie? I would tell her that there are going to be times when you hate life. There are going to be times when you hate yourself. There are going to be times when you wish you'd never started this transition. But most of the time, you will be so glad and fulfilled and happy and in awe of how wonderful your life is that you can take all this pain. I've gone through so many changes in the last 3 years. I mean, the hair for a start. I've gone through eating disorders. I had bulimia when I first started this journey, not long afterwards anyway, and I don't mind admitting that to you. I think in sharing this kind of stuff, it's going to help others. I hit rock bottom, and it was only when I started looking after myself that I started feeling more fulfilled. I was in a stressful housing situation and I got myself out of it, and things improved from then on in. It's okay to be struggling. It's okay to lose your way. It's okay to be angry. I had a situation with my girlfriend last night where she'd done nothing wrong, but I misread something and I got really angry at myself for it. I had to remove myself from the room for a little while just to kind of deal with the feelings that I had. But she is so kind and she is so caring and she understood. And, I love her more than anything or anyone. She's my world. And if you'd have told me 3 years ago that I would meet someone who would be my soulmate, who I would get on with on every level, spiritually, intellectually, emotionally, physically, I'd have been like, whatevs. So, in love, in life, in everything that you do, there are going to be times when things are tough. That is part of life. If your life had no ups or downs, it would just be flat. You'd be dead. Because the universe will never give you anything that you can't handle. In terms of me, my transition, how I'm doing, I've never been heavier as a woman, but also I've never been happier. The thing about eating disorders is you have a warped sense of self that isn't really a true reflection of who you are. I was 9.5 stone and I'm 6 foot tall. That was quite thin. You could see my collarbones and stuff. I had no shape at all. There was a time about 1.5 years ago when I said, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to eat what I want and I'll have the body that I want. And since then I have put quite a bit of weight on. I was a size 10 and now I'm 14 or 16 depending on what it is. But I have curves, I have boobs, I have hips, my legs at the top and the middle now touch where they never used to. And I love that. I love the fact that I'm putting body fat on. Transgender women in transition, if you want to transition fully physically, you're going to have to eat fat, you're going to have to put weight on. It's fine. The average transgender female puts on 9 pounds of fat. in transition. There you go, bit of a fact there for you, but I hope it will help someone. So I've come to terms with my body. I've also come to terms with being a lesbian. I never thought, honestly, in my wildest dreams that lesbians would accept me for who and what I was. I think there would always be that kind of attitude towards me, well, you were once a male and therefore we won't accept you. That's a load of rubbish. There are some famous feminists out there, and I'm going to highlight Jermaine Greer as an example, because she is the one who's quite vociferous about trans females and how they're not females at all. Utter rubbish. In living authentically and in being a female and kind of not allowing myself to not be everything that I am, it would be easier for me to be a straight film woman, and because of that I would kind of fit in more. I would be what people would deem to be more normal. I think anyone who challenges heteronormative ideas of what gender and sexuality is, you're always going to have people who are going to take against you, and that's fine. I would rather be unique than anything else. I would rather stand out than fit in. That's just me. If anyone calls you a freak, thank them. And it might sound a bit of a perverse reaction to that statement, but in thanking them, it means that they don't see you like them. They don't see you as someone who fits in, and I would take that over fitting in every single time. My current girlfriend, she's kind of made me come to terms with being a lesbian. You know, sexually I've always struggled with my body, and I'm not going to go into graphic detail because it would be unfair on me and her, but you know, she's made me come to terms with that. So for that I am really grateful, and it sounds strange for a transgender woman who is looking to go down the surgical route to say to you guys that they've come to terms with their body, but I have, you know, in letting down the walls that I built up inside my mind, I've kind of freed myself. I think that's, yeah, it's quite a deep thing to say, but I think the most important thing that I've learned in these 3 years is that in allowing yourself to be who you are and letting go of every sense, letting go in the way that you express yourself, the way that you think about yourself, you become more and more fulfilled. You know, the relationships that I have with people now are on such a deep level, and you know that I have acquaintances, of course I do, we all do. I mean, you know, we all have to work and stuff, but you know, the close friendships that I have are on such a deep level because we share everything. I think it's important to share everything. If you don't share something with the person that you're with, then how do you expect to be understood? It just doesn't make sense, does it? You know, and that's the other thing that about the relationship has given me as well. In sharing everything that I am and I have, we have such a deep, meaningful, wonderful relationship that I can't imagine myself ever being with anyone ever else. That's it. If I'm with that woman till I die, then I will be absolutely the happiest woman on this planet. I know that for certain. I don't really know what else to say other than I have been involved in a lot of other projects. You know, 3 years ago, if you'd have told me I'd been running a transgender parent support network on Facebook as well as a LGBTQ support network, I wouldn't have believed you. I'm involved in a few other projects. I've been asked by Stonewall to speak at a financial services Pride Network launch event, and I cannot wait. I don't know how many people are going to be there, but it's certainly going to be something that's going to kind of make me come off my shell even more. I think I'm quite a good orator anyway, and I get a message across quite effectively, so I'm really looking forward to kind of giving the transgender community a voice, and what I think is a kind of reasoned good voice. I'm writing more than I ever have done. Check out my articles on LinkedIn if you can look on LinkedIn. There's stuff that I've written there. I'm on Tumblr as well, Twitter, Facebook. There is a website as well, www.debbiecannon.co.uk, if you want to have a look at that as well. That'll give you an example of some of the things that I've been involved in and do. But I think in sharing yourself and being who you are, you can affect people's lives in a positive way. So my message for this this blog is very, very simple, and I say this every time, and I have never said it too many times. I will say this until I'm dead. Be yourself, no one else. Honestly, myself, I'm happy. I've never been happier. Things in my transition are going according to plan. I'm waiting to hear about my surgery, but ultimately I'm building a life for me, because after my transition, if I don't build a life for me and just concentrate on the transition, what have I got after I've achieved that? So, you know, it's important to have goals, but also to like kind of to not become too embroiled in the process of transition, whatever that is, that by the time you've reached that goal, that you have nothing left at the end of it. So be kind to yourself, love yourself, be yourself, no one else. Please like and share this video, because if it can help one person, then it's absolutely so worth it. Take care. Love you lots. Speak to you soon. Bye.